Yeah, we expected man coverage. They got into a type of like match zone, so they covered up our routes, and I got out to the left, and at that point in the game, yards were more important than getting out of bounds, and so with the 3 timeouts, I tried to just cut through, and I think it was Justin Watson. I haven't seen the video, but I thought he got a great block. I think it was him, and I was able to get down the field and get out of bounds. Kind of fumbled out of bounds, but I got out of bounds, and so I got us in field goal range.
Patrick, how is it before the play that it's just in your mind? You can get extra yards there, not go out of bounds. Do you think of it as you're running? Can you kind of take us through where you are?
Yeah, I think it's just certain times in games. It's not like I pre-plan like that stuff. It's just whenever it comes down to it and you got to make the play, I feel like I try to go out there and make the play, and that's why I feel like it happens kind of later in games sometimes. And in the playoffs, you don't want to slide. You have to kind of put your body out there, knowing that you can take hits and stuff like that. But we've been able to make some big runs and some big moments.
Could you have made that scramble a couple weeks ago, considering you were dealing with the ankle?
I don't know. I think I always say adrenaline will get you through it. But it is helping a lot when you get a little bit healthier and you can kind of get your body back into it. And a credit to the training staff. They stayed on top of me about being in there as much as possible. And I finally was able to get off that list this last week and kind of get back to just my normal routine. And we went out there and made something happen.
What was the mindset of the offense at the onset of the drive?
Yeah, I mean, you want to get as close as possible, give our guy a chance to make a field goal. We call it where you go down at the 2-yard line, 1-yard line, whatever it is. And we were just trying to get a completion first, which we did. And then I think I still could have thrown it out there a little bit further for Xavier. But other than that, I thought we executed at a high level. Like we were in that moment. Just we got to be better in the whole entire fourth quarter, not just in those big moments at the end of the game.
What kind of confidence did you have in the rookie to make that kick in that situation?
I mean, I had a ton of confidence. I've seen him do it in practice. Since he's been here, he's been going out there working. And so I had a ton of confidence. We got him into his sweet spot, and he nailed it right through there.
Patrick, I know the red zone probably isn't what you wanted, but you scored 6 of the 8 drives today. Are you pretty pleased with just the progress you made with the offense as a whole?
Yeah, I thought we did a great job moving the football. Like you said, you got to execute at a higher efficiency in the red zone. But I mean, that defense is a good defense. I mean, they've played hard the entire year. They have a great defensive coordinator, a lot of great players that I've went up against in other places. And so I thought we did a good job of executing the offense, moving the ball. But like I said, just in that second half, especially in that fourth quarter, we got to be better. I mean, just putting the game away and not giving them chances. But we were able to do it there at the end.
Noah mentioned just the fact that you gave him the answers before the test on his second touchdown, that what coverage was going to come. Can you kind of take us through recognizing that and then going down on that play?
Yeah, we go through it every week. It's not just me. I mean, me, the quarterback coaches, and the players, we go through certain checks you get to versus certain coverages. And I was able to see by the way they lined up, they were getting into their cover zero look. Just alerted the guys to make sure they saw what I saw, gave the check at the line of scrimmage. And then you trust your guy to go out there and make a play and just put it up there. Well, I threw a great ball, just put it up there and let him just go up and make a play.
Patrick, these
Yeah, no, I thought he played his tail off, man. He throws a really good football. It's funny. I think Texas Tech was the first one to offer him when he was in 8th grade, and I was at Texas Tech. So I remember watching his highlight tapes then and knew he was going to be a great player. And obviously, he went to Bama and was the first draft pick. But I think it's been cool to see him bounce back these last few weeks and play some great football because, I know he has it. I've seen it for a long time, and he gave us a scare today, man, because he played his tail off. I was hoping to be out of there before he got there. So, no, he's been a great player for a long time and won a lot of football games.
Patrick, what is it with these close wins you guys? Is that a good thing or bad thing, heading forward? Would you like to have a few blowouts? Yeah, I mean, you always want to have some blowouts. You want to be a little calmer in the fourth quarter. But I've always said it can be a good thing as you get to the playoffs and later in the season. Just knowing that you've been in those moments before and knowing how to kind of attack it, but play by play, not making it too big of a moment. But no, I mean, I would say this more than anybody. I would love to win a game, not by the very last play.
The last one, Nate.
Patrick, I asked a couple guys in the locker room, you guys have talked so much about the grind of the season. When that phrase kind of gets mentioned, does it remind you of days like today?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's all about getting better. I think that's the best thing about playing in the NFL. It's never like the team that's playing the beginning of the season the best is playing the best at the end of the season. It's about just constantly getting better, and it's going to be a grind. And I think we've done a great job of that. Coach Reed does a great job of planning it so that we're playing our best football at the end of the year. And there's a lot to learn from today. There's good, there's bad. We got to just go back, learn from that, and then know that we have a short week against a hungry football team in the Raiders that is coming to our house.
Okay, thanks, Patrick.
I appreciate you.
Patrick Mahomes threw for 269 yards and 3 touchdowns. Spencer Schrader kicked a 31-yard field goal as time expired, and the Kansas City Chiefs beat the Carolina Panthers 30-27 on Sunday to reach double-digit wins for the 10th straight season. Noah Gray caught 2 TD passes as the Chiefs, 10-1, bounced back from last week's 30-21 loss at Buffalo and won at the buzzer yet again in a season of narrow escapes. DeAndre Hopkins also had a touchdown catch for the 2-time defending Super Bowl champions, who scored on their first 5 possessions. Bryce Young finished 21 of 35 for 262 yards and a touchdown for the Panthers, 3-8, who had their 2-game winning streak snapped. David Moore had 6 receptions for 80 yards and a touchdown. Expand article logo continue reading. Trailing 27-19, Young completed a 4th down pass to Adam Thielen to move the chains, then went deep for the veteran receiver, who drew a pass interference penalty on Shamari Connor. That set up a 1-yard touchdown run by Chuba Hubbard. Young's initial 2-point conversion toss to Moore drew a flag on Trent McDuffie, and Hubbard ran for 2 on the next play to tie the game with 1:46 left. Mahomes ran for 33 yards on the ensuing drive and was sprung by a downfield block from Justin Watson to reach field goal range. Then he connected with Kareem Hunt for 10 yards to make it a chip shot for Schrader. Mahomes finished with 60 yards rushing. The Chiefs wasted no time setting the tone as Samaje Perine returned the opening kickoff 56 yards, and Mahomes found Gray for a 35-yard touchdown strike on the 3rd play of scrimmage for a 7-0 lead. Gray went 9 games without a TD catch before hauling in 2 last week against Buffalo. His 11-yard score late in the second quarter gave him 2 more against the Panthers. The Panthers moved the ball well but struggled in the red zone, resulting in field goals of 30, 32, 29, and 33 yards for Eddie Pinheiro, the most accurate kicker in NFL history. Running back Jonathan Brooks made his NFL debut for Carolina, but was limited to 7 yards on 2 carries. 8 of the Chiefs' wins have come by a 1-score margin, and this was their 2nd straight victory decided on the last play. They beat Denver 2 weeks ago by blocking a would-be game-winning field goal. Kansas City's Travis Kelce had 6 catches for 62 yards and moved into 3rd place in career yards receiving by a tight end. He ranks behind only Tony Gonzalez and Jason Witten. However, Kelce failed to find the end zone for the 9th time in 11 games this season. Panthers rookie Jatavian Sanders was taken to the hospital with a neck injury after landing awkwardly on his head after making a catch near the end of the second quarter. City Chiefs star recorded a 19-yard completion to move 3rd, ahead of Antonio Gates, with an overall tally of 11,854 yards. Gates is on 11,841. 2nd on the all-time list is Jason Witten, on 13,046, who might be in Kelce's sights before he calls it a day and retires from the NFL. Top of the leaderboard is Tony Gonzalez on 15,127, a lead that is likely too much for the 35-year-old Kelce to reel in. The Chiefs tight end playing in Charlotte on Sunday without girlfriend Taylor Swift cheering him on in the stands has 1 more year on his Kansas City deal after this season. Kelce has long been dismissive of personal stats, instead insisting that Super Bowl triumphs are all that matter to him. He missed the final game of the regular season last year against the Chargers to rest a neck issue, meaning he missed the chance to round off a 7th straight campaign with over 1,000 receiving yards. He said later that week on his New Heights podcast, "It never felt right to go out there chasing stats. If I could get some rest going into next week and stay off the turf in LA and just avoid some hits, man, I was all for that to gear up for the playoffs here. I've never sat here and said, if I don't get 1,000 yards, my season was a failure. I've always had it in my mind if I lose the Super Bowl, that's a failure." While pass rusher DJ Wonnum picked up his 2nd sack in just 6 quarters, Mahomes kept the Chiefs churning down the field to end the first half. He completed a 4th consecutive scoring drive to end the second quarter, as the series was capped with another touchdown toss to Gray. Mahomes finished the first half with 206 passing yards and 2 touchdowns on a 79.2% completion percentage. He had a 130.2 first-half passer rating and was sacked twice. While Mahomes' legs aided the first series of the 3rd quarter, the talented QB continued to hurt the Panthers through air as well. He led a 5th consecutive scoring drive by completing a 3-yard touchdown pass to wideout DeAndre Hopkins. The defense finally stopped the scoring